visual countdown. So I'll just count us down myself. 10, 9, 8, 7. I love that line. I put some water on it. Welcome to another episode of Balls Eat Football. Week 11. We're going to talk about the waiver wire, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, defense, special teams. Although usually don't like to talk about special teams. Nappy Nap, what's going on, baby? How you doing, first of all?
I'm doing fucking. We back. Let's help these people make a push to the playoffs. If you're in a standard league, you got 3 weeks left, baby. 3 weeks to make that final push. We're here to make sure to help you get it. You gotta scoop up what's left of that waiver wire, man. I'm good, man. What's up with you? You still got the Christmas tree up?
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. Is that fake or real?
Nah, man, I ain't no fool. Why you buy a real one every year, man? Just
real.
Get one of those, and then nah.
No,
Can't afford a real one, man.
they're not that expensive, man. You get a nice smell.
They do smell delicious.
You need the candle then.
No, my in-laws be fucking around buying a new one every year. I mean, it's really nice, but hey, why not just get a little air freshener, one of those tree air fresheners, hang that hoe up, and then good, man.
Cool. Well, we did stream last week. We did not get a game day stream in. We were both a little busy. I'm gonna bring this a little closer to my face. Anyway, what do you want to kick us off with? Did you want to talk about the games at all? Do you want to go right into it? Of talking about positions?
Let's go right into it, cause like you say, people busy and shit. Let's go ahead and give the knowledge, and then that the recaps will come and flow as we talk about some of these players and how they did, which is whether or not they're hot. I say let's jump in on it, man. Running backs. I'm experiencing it personally with Tank has Joe Mixon, who's been out a few weeks, so I've been trying to reap in what I can with Gio Bernard. Looks like if you've been holding on to Christian McCaffrey all year, I'm sorry, but you still gonna be holding on to him for nothing. D might be a big reason, man, but
what is his latest injury
on
Christian McCaffrey?
It's a shoulder.
Right, so, he came back, then he got injured again, right?
Yeah, came back after, I think it was a high ankle sprain or something, kept him out for a while, 4 to 6 weeks, and then came back, and then aggravated his shoulder. So I think they're kind of still in it. So D had just texted me, said it's PJ Walker time. So Bridgewater's hurt. I didn't think he was going to be seriously hurt to where he's out of game. So I mean, the Panthers, NFC South is tight, right? With the Saints, Bucks. I mean, Panthers, they got an outside shot, man.
PJ Walker of the XFL Houston.
XFL, baby, them Houston Roughnecks.
Roughnecks, that's what it was. Roughnecks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
call them Jamie Foxx, man. That's like that. What were they on Any Given Sunday? LL Cool J was snorting that coke off a titty. That's probably one of the first movies I saw with a titty. That and Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers was probably one of my first ones too. Yeah, when they're in the
like
tent.
98.
Yeah. That tent scene.
Yeah. That girl go. Oh. Hey man. I read some numbers on I think 610 was actually also talking about him. Nick Chubb, man. I mean, he's back, came off IR, ran all over the Texans. I mean, what's up with that? I mean, averaging 92 yards a game. I think James Robinson had 10 PPR points every game he's played, so double digits there. I mean, it's just wild. Some of these guys that are stepping up, we didn't think they would. We mentioned McCaffrey, so you got to hold on to Mike Davis. And then Damian Harris is the guy from New England. Everyone avoids all the running back committee, especially in New England. But Damian Harris, I think he's going to do it again this week against Houston.
And I was just looking. I like to pull up our league information. Damian Harris is available in our league. He's on waivers. He has the highest projection. I can pay into it real quick. We can talk about that.
I tell you, this is one of those matchup plays, right? And yeah, Mike Davis is already rostered. So let's talk about guys that are a realistic chance to get. Damian Harris is one of them. Houston, he's playing Houston 29th ranked D.
The funny thing is they have both Damian Harris and Rex Burkhead back to back as probably the most.
And they both bought out last week, though. And that's the thing. It's when you're gonna play him. This is we'll talk about your teams if you have a team on a bye week, then you already know what we're talking about. You're trying to get one of these guys right here. I think who's on Buffalo Bills, Chicago Bears, Giants. Let me see, Niners, Dolphins. Any of those teams, Jets. You got them. They on a bye this week. So. Pay
Um,
attention there, man.
It's not really a waiver wire because I mean he's likely rostered in every league. But there's a question in chat. How do you feel about James Conner? Inefficient yards per attempt. Now we just made a trade and you have James Conner. So just being that
Yeah.
we're on running back, how do you feel about James Conner with the trade and just going so far?
Jeez, I'll tell you, fucking Pittsburgh. If Big Ben keeps fucking throwing 42 pass attempts a game, then yeah, I don't like James Conner at all. I didn't know that was gonna happen. I thought this was old school Steelers. I thought they stayed true to their identity, but obviously Big Ben's healthy and he's been slanging it. That's how all three of their receivers are rostered right now. I mean, on a team where all three of the receivers are rostered and playing, that's Claypool, Juju, and then Deontay Johnson just came back from injury, balled out. I mean, that's crazy to think that like, of course the running back's not going to be getting it right now. I hope it shifts, but I wouldn't say I regret the trade because I mean, it's still panning out, right? It's only week 2, it's still young. This we'll see.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I equally
I
glad.
would say fuck him based off his output the last 2 weeks. I would also say you want Benny Snell. I would say that because hey, Connor got hurt earlier in the year, so you might want to have the obviously that's an easy low hanging fruit right there, that kind of advice. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. I think Kalen Balaj, guy, is still available in leagues. We talked about him last week, and then Cedar Will mentioned he was dropped off the practice squad, and then came back up. Um, 33 carries, I think, the last 2 weeks. 30, yeah, around at least 30 carries. That's impressive, man. So Austin Eckler, I don't know if he's even coming back. So this might be one to stash. I don't know. And then obviously, at this point, man, 2020 pandemic, it's all about picking the best running back committee. Before it was avoid them, but nowadays it's just picking them and then having a little more skill or prediction powers to figure out which one's going to get the love that week. We're talking about the Colts, right? A lot of people probably went hard, long, schlong, for a homeboy. Not and I don't remember. It's not Hines. Wilkins. It was that motherfucker's birthday last week. Am I freezing up?
You're freezing. We're losing you. I'm gonna cut it to me because it looks like I have a better. Yeah, it's you. No, transformer on me, man. Go to the chat real quick while we're waiting for you. Come back. Everyone runs on the Texans. Oh man. Oh, what happened to Troy? He might have to restart. Yeah, it's interesting that everyone run. I mean, the fact that Houston's just crumbled so much. Not to turn this into a Houston show, but we usually do talk a lot about the Texans. What do y'all think it was that it's made Houston defense just crumble? I mean, it's largely the same players. We did lose a nose tackle, right, to Cincinnati. Why am I forgetting his name? Hey, you're back. Where are you?
Ah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You're back. What's up?
Good, what's good? Yeah, man. Motherfuckers, Hines, man. I was talking about Hines, Naheem Hines. He playing Green Bay, 30th ranked defense. So I think these are kind of these matchups you want to chase. These guys that are on the waiver wire. Obviously, if you play in a Denver defense, um, I don't have much respect for Coach Fangio over there. So I like.
I've tried that a few times. I didn't. I mean, it worked for me one time, like playing Denver because they're so poor. Like playing the ranks, like if you're looking at the matchups here, just from the running backs, obviously they're playing these guys are playing the Texans that ranked 30th against the run.
Yeah, who you got? Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm just saying, like I tried against Denver and it worked one time, didn't the other time. I forgot. But my players kind of laid an egg. So it always. I don't know. I'm saying it's not always a give me. I guess is what I'm saying. I'm just like playing those matchups. That's usually the best thing you can bank on. That is the more sure thing.
For sure.
Anyway.
Yeah, I like that. You're right. Having that RB1 plug and play, but hey, man, not everybody that fortunate, motherfucker. Not everybody got Dalvin Cook, bitch. So
I'm just saying, there's holes in every theory. I know. I'm just shitting on the show, man. Shitting all over.
You good, man. Stashes. I'll say one stash, Cam Akers, man. It's another personal one right there. I dropped him probably early on. I did draft him, but I had to let him go 4 weeks ago. Now's the time to scoop him back up. I think he led the team in targets and rushing attempts last week. So, he's been sitting low on the totem pole, low on that parabola, but you know what happens? Those always curve back up. See if
Only
you can ride
projected
that wave.
for 5 points this week.
Yeah, that's a balls deep one, man. That's a balls deep one right there. I don't know if anyone's going to tell you to pick him up. We'll come back, talk shit to me next week if we're wrong, but
All right, well, let's come back to that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hey, the last little fun fact I'll mention: if you kept on J.D. McKissick, I mean, you got to have a hard dick with what you saw the last 2 weeks. 29 targets, I think. 29 targets. We've talked about being a target king on this show, on this cast. J.D. McKissick, 29 targets last 2 weeks. That's a good one, man. Um, receivers, receivers. Moving on to them, I think this year's proved maybe it's better to get the stud receivers and then find your running backs in free agency. Especially with how we're structured, you can bid on them, right? So if you really want the motherfucker, you can just spend your whole thing on it, which we saw a lot happen this year. So I think that's the way it's starting to trend, man. Find that Julio Jones. Okay, who had him? Not in the playoffs, but hey, he found the stud. He missed too many games this year. Thielen. I think Thielen was feeling himself yesterday. See the will over there. And then you got the other guys, non-brand name guys stepping up. Calvin Ridley now doing his thing, probably going to overtake Julio. Even guys down that I was dogging like Christian Kirk. I think he was having a hell of the last 3 4 weeks.
This is
Who you
interesting.
got here? Who's available?
No, I said yeah. I'm just looking at the wide receivers in our league, and then I ranked it by just opponent rank, like who's playing the worst defense.
Oh, okay, okay.
And
So would we
and
even pluck any of these guys?
yeah. So if you're going by just by there's projections, which obviously the opponent rank factors into that, but it's Arizona at the top because who are they playing?
So Seattle's
Seattle.
got the 32nd.
That's
They got the
interesting
worst D. Tennessee's got the second worst D. That's crazy, man.
against the
Because those are
passing.
two pretty decent teams with. Well, Titans did have a good record till they fell to the
Michael
you know.
Crabtree plays for the Seahawks. I didn't even know that.
Nah, hell no, nah, man. Crap, he don't play. I don't think he plays for anyone
Wait,
right now,
this
bro.
is
Yeah, that's an old team. That's just not updated, man.
okay.
Um,
Stupid.
I tell you, we did mention that trio for Tampa Bay or for the Steelers. Another
And we go
trio
by
here is
projections.
yeah. What you got? Oh, we still
So
on?
so this is wide
Oh
receiver by
yeah, yeah.
projection. So you
Yeah,
have,
so you okay? Randall, I like Pittman. I like Pittman. Um, filled in for the kid that got hurt earlier in the year. Forgot who it was, but this cat. It's sad that we've got to be scared of Philip Rivers now. You know what I'm saying? I think he's starting to get a little more turnover prone. When the game's on the line, that he's just gonna check up that prayer, and yeah, that's kind of why I guess I did just mention him. I would stay away now though. Brashard Perriman. I like Brashard Perriman. I'm talking. This is real deep. People that are probably available. Who else was on there? I
but
saw
would you,
Josh
so,
Reynolds.
so going into the playoffs and stuff, would you take a flyer on it? I guess if you really needed someone, if you're in a pinch, because I know some guys are going into a bye week on a playoff week. That kind of sucks. But that's probably the only reason why you would maybe play some of these guys. Otherwise,
Yeah, yeah.
playoffs aren't the time to be dicking around with just experiment unless you can
Oh,
afford the luxury. I don't know. I'm not. It depends on how
no,
you like
no,
to
you're
play.
right. But hey, remember, most leagues are not in playoffs now. Most leagues, the playoffs start week 14 for them. If you're a standard league, so these people got a lot of
That's
folks got
true.
3 more weeks to race. Balls deep. We starting
If
playoffs
you
now.
have that cushion too, if you already probably maybe got the playoffs, you rather than you can either go with the first seed or you can kind of experiment with your roster a bit to kind of understand who might be
Nah, I mean
going on. I don't
shit.
know.
Yeah, it depends. It's all fluid, right? The situation. Shit, it's very organic. It depends who these motherfuckers have. You know what I mean? Like we're not going to mention guys like Antonio Brown or Justin Jefferson, guys that we know that are rostered. You know what I'm saying? I can't even like. We shouldn't even bring up like T Higgins anymore because he should be rostered right now. I think 6 straight games, 60 yards.
Um, I'm just glancing at chat. Some sprinkle some of these in here while we're
Oh
talking.
yeah, hell yeah, that's perfect. What's up?
So D wanted to talk about the wide receivers. Not really a waiver, wire esque question, but it is just what do you think about the wide receivers in Dallas now that Andy Dalton, I think, is he going to be coming back from his
Yeah, yeah,
concussion?
yeah,
Do you think
yeah.
there's any
He
hope
should be
there?
back.
I mean, it's going back to our trade. I took Ezekiel Elliott, and I'm on the fence about playing him my first playoff game because I'm kind of spoiled now. I have two tight ends, two pretty good tight ends. So he's kind of in that flex, but he's a good player, so he could easily have a 20-point game. But as of late, he's been like 9, 8, 7. They had a bye week. He had a hamstring problem, and the offense has been kind of inept. Garrett Gilbert was kind of fun to watch actually. Garrett Gilbert.
Oh, he was. Oh
Didn't
yeah.
he? So Garrett Gilbert, he played for the AAF, or what was that other league? It wasn't the XFL. It was the league before that. And then he got an
Yeah,
opportunity.
AAF. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
then he got an opportunity.
Alliance.
Then that dissolved. He got an opportunity to go play with the Browns. Don't know how he ended up on the Cowboys, but anyway. So what do you think about overall what's going on in Dallas, and if that offense, specifically the wide receivers, like so, if you have CeeDee Lamb, um, are you excited for Andy Dalton's return?
Yeah, man, I would say it's got to go up from here. So you've got to give it 1 week, one more week. If you have Zeke, if you've got Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, you're banking on a couple things. It's a bad Dallas team, sure. Even worse defense, yeah. Um, but might be a little spark. If anything, hey, they're going to be playing from behind, so they'll be chunking the ball, and those players might, get that little late trash garbage touchdown. Definitely, it's going to elevate him. And Dalton's not trash. And this question pretty much is a question on Dalton, if you believe in Dalton or not, to elevate the rest of the team. Yeah, definitely, man. It's not going to take much. It's all on the. I think it's a little more on the coaching now, right? Is there going to be some rhythm early on? Because the playbook does change with Dak. So I'll tell you that. Yeah, definitely, man. I still like the Dallas
I
receivers.
forgot what I
I
was.
still
What
like Schultze. Yeah, I still like the tight end. Give him 1 more week, man.
I,
Let's
for,
see if
I
Dalton,
forgot which
figure it
show
out.
I was watching, but they were talking about how Andy Dalton statistically, and I don't have to, I'm not gonna bother to pull it all up. Typically plays better later in the season, which I thought was a funny stat because in the Bengals they're known for like not going far in the playoffs at all or going like one round and done. Um, so and that was a weird stat. I mean, like his teams could be easier. Like what's his stat? Why would he get better in the offseason? Because he's not like a playoff kind of guy. Anyway, it was an interesting stat. So maybe that might go in your favor if you have some Cowboys on your team. And overall, do you think the Cowboys are going to the playoffs or not? Because that's an interesting division. Because you can walk into a playoff spot with like a 4 and whatever record now.
Yeah, no, I don't think so, man. Absolutely.
You
I
got the
actually
Eagles
not
at the
think
top, I think.
yeah, absolutely. I think the Eagles have at least the the front office, that head coaching part. I think they kind of got it. The team is still loyal to the staff, I guess I would say, in a funny way, over in Philly as opposed to Dallas, where McCarthy's still unproven to his own players, as we heard the rumblings a couple years ago. So I don't think a franchise like that gonna get far, man. It's just gonna keep on, the wheels gonna keep on falling off. It's almost like Dak was that little bit of rubber band that was holding everything together, man. Everyone was probably in it for Dak. I could see Dak being a
That's
leader
true.
like that. And then now he's not there. Y'all already know.
This is weird. I'm trying to just look at this is NFL playoff picture. I don't think there's anything to really. I mean,
Nah, shit. Go
the
ahead,
Rams
man.
are.
Keep pulling up the visuals, man. I'll end the receivers with this. Debo Samuel, probably somebody you may want to target. Could be free agent. We already know Kittle's out every of the entire year. Yeah, the other rookie might get some love, but Debo Samuel, we're waiting for him to pop off, right? He's been having a down year, so let's see him have a big one, man. You know what I'm
Wide
saying?
receiver for the 49ers?
Niners, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Why do you like this man? What's so
More
special about him?
opportunity, man. Yeah, it's more opportunity. Proven playmaker last year. Um, as you can see here, a couple games he was healthy, double digits, but that's his thing.
Not a lot of
NFL,
targets.
yeah, but he's more of the yak kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get it and then eat it up. Um, I mean, but definitely, man, six catches back to back. It's Nick Mullins at quarterback. Um, that might scare people away, but remember, we're talking about deep sleepers here. And I think Kittle out for the year. That's why I like him mostly. Those targets that Kittle had, they got to go somewhere else. I think he's one of the talented guys they're going to try and, Shanahan's going to try and
That
script
is
him into
true.
the
Like, what does
game.
that offense try to do now that they don't have their starting quarterback? They don't have their starting tight end. It's kind of, is it a different offense or the same game plan with just new people? Do you worry? I mean, yeah, that's kind of a hard thing to like when that
Yeah,
happens. Same thing with Dak, right? When things shake up so bad, it's kind of really hard to, like we say, fantasy is really more luck than anything, and the little bit of like, I guess, formula you can go by or the things you can go by, like a stable offense, kind of goes out the window when the quarterback, is out. For example, Drew Brees, I think right now is out with a punctured or deflated lung or whatever. What is it? Collapsed
Yeah,
lung. I
man.
said deflated.
Broke a couple ribs, and yeah,
Yeah. So you got Jameis Winston in there now. So what does that do if you
famous
have?
Jameis
I've got
player.
Emmanuel Sanders. He put up good numbers every time Michael Thomas was out of a game. Michael Thomas comes back, he does Jack Daily Poo, but now you have a new quarterback in Jameis Winston, who
I think Jameis will still slang it. I'm not excited if I'm a Saints fan, but I'm still as excited if I'm a Saints owner of a Saints player, simply because he has opportunity still there. Jameis was still a gunslinger. So he's going to chunk and throw it around, but might be some interceptions and shit. But Sanders,
oh,
I
there's
think
gonna be
Sanders will get
interceptions.
fed.
There's gonna be a lot of
Oh yeah,
interceptions.
oh yeah. I mean, he did fix his vision like 2 years ago. Got LASIK finally or something. But like people are like, man, that might have explained all those picks, man, all those years, man. He had
I
like one of the
sent it to
worst
you.
visions.
Did you see where they were interviewing Drew Brees at the end of I think the what was it, the Tampa Bay game, and he came in and ate the W. He put the W in
Who's
his
that?
mouth. Jameis Winston.
Oh my goodness.
It was hilarious,
Wait,
dude. I'll have to find it. I'm gonna
nah.
pull it
Did
up.
you send it to me?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god. Wait. I'm sorry. He can't play that copyright.
I don't know. Maybe we'll try to get away with it.
I'll go to tight end shit while you doing it, man. I'll tell you what. I was excited about Austin Hooper coming back because I got that in a trade. Dallas Goddard. But these motherfuckers didn't even combine for more than like 5 catches, 50 yards. Pieces of shit, fucking letdowns.
I'm gonna say
Um,
fair use, and we'll show like a 2 minute clip of it. I think
all
you can
right.
for reporting purposes. So here we go. He comes in and just eats it.
Oh my goodness.
That was it.
That was a crab leg, man.
It is.
Oh my goodness.
It's funny.
Drew's loving it too, man. Drew's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry for what I said, man. Sorry for what I said about the flag, man. Love me, my teammates.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true. That's
man.
true. Anyway, sorry. I'm kind of
No,
diverting
you
here.
good, man. Tight ends. I'll tell you what. If you don't have Travis Kelsey or Darren Waller, which some greedy bitches have both,
I do.
beans, man. That's a sick one too. Ain't seen something that nice since Oh man, what's the throwback? Antonio Gates and Tony Gonzalez. Somebody had
I was
a
just gonna
pair
say
that was
Randy
scary.
won it with Jimmy Graham and he's on the Saints, and I think and Antonio Gonzalez when he was
Oh, okay,
still
that's
in
what
it.
it was.
So it
Oh
was like Jimmy
fuck.
Graham when he was like a rookie or like his
And I
sophomore
think he
season.
had Reggie Bush too. That was
Hmm.
on the Detroit Lions that killed it that year. God damn. Yeah, man, this one's hard because
That's
if you
actually
don't
the
have some of
formula
the
that I always try to go after. Double tight ends. Double tight
double
ends
tight
to
end,
me is almost as good as
you almost had triple with Gronk. Had you had kept Gronk because
but
he's starting to
he's not doing
double
anything.
digit three straight though, man. Double digit three straight.
Is
Shit,
he?
that's enough. Yeah, it's like 10, 12, 13. I'm not sure, but
Well, I found
hey,
myself in a nice situation with the running backs, but I digress. Go on.
nah, shit. I was gonna say if you in PPR, obviously you're looking at targets. That's it though. I think that's the thing. Don't let anything else distract you. Take one stat and just like win or lose, die by that. If you're in non PPR, of course you're still looking at targets, but you're more looking at I think you have to lean more towards the projection, which some people that are outside the box thinkers don't like to do. But lean more towards they call it implied points, right? So whatever the projected points are, obviously it's more a percentage, whatever it may be, higher that they'll they're touchdown dependent, right? That's the lingo around there. But Hunter Henry, Hayden Hurst, Noah Fant, Mark Andrews, TJ Hawk. These are guys you got to just like stick with because it's tier two. Even though this tier fucking sucks, you gotta still stick with those. You're rewarded if you kept a guy like Logan Thomas. I dropped him last week. That's a guy you should plug and play this week for Cincinnati if you got a guy on a buy. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah, we can quickly check out what's available in our league and see if any names pop
yeah,
off.
yeah. Let's see what's up. Yeah, I tell you
So
what. Oh yeah. You got it up already? Fuck
yeah,
yeah, bro.
so ranking the projected tight ends in our league,
Jesus.
Richard Rogers for like really nothing because the top projection is 7 points. That's really Greg Olson, fall from grace, but he is getting a little long in the tooth playing for the Seattle Seahawks against Arizona. He is only projected for what 7 points. Yeah, so nothing great. Again, nothing
All
really
right,
great
I
we can
mean,
do
I would
here.
say Greg Olson, you're going for him, especially in non-PPR, just because he's getting some red zone love. We mentioned Anthony Ferkshire, but
He's had a
Jonnu
really
Smith's
rough.
back, so don't. Yeah, yeah. Irv Smith Jr. Man, I know he's kind of it's got a Q on him, but Irv Smith Jr. out of Minnesota showed what he can do with the ball in his hands or when he's getting the love. You would hope Kirk, goes to him when they're in the red zone. The problem with that is Dalvin Cook's just fucking tearing him up right now, but the opportunity's there, man. Um, I mean, that's it. That's it out of this list. I wouldn't fuck with any of the other guys. Fuck both Rams. Richard Rodgers, I don't even know why he's that high on the list. He must have been, I don't know, must have been doing hot, I
I
guess. But
think
yeah,
it's
those two,
probably
man.
ranking the opponent rank because it's Cleveland. I
Greg
guess is
Olson,
22nd.
Irv Smith Jr. There we go. Mo Alley Cox, we talked about him 5 weeks ago, but he ended up not panning out, and Doyle and Burton ended up, stealing the thunder from him. But yeah, man. D's. Let's talk about them D's, man. Them D's.
Double
If you
D's.
had the Bears yesterday, Cordell Patterson
Cordell
fucking
Patterson.
killed it.
Dude,
Cordell,
so
yeah.
does anyone in our league have Cordell Patterson? Because I think he's listed as a wide
Some
receiver and a running
and
back.
running
So
back.
you
Yeah,
could
somebody
play
did
him
scoop
at.
him up.
So you could play him
Hmm.
like I guess multiple places on your roster. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
You don't
man.
normally see that. It's pretty rare.
I mean, he didn't do. I don't want to say he did much offensively. Did move the chains a little, but his impact yesterday was the opening kickoff of the second half, 104 or however many yards, which is crazy because his rookie year he was on the Minnesota Vikings and scored a 104-yard kick return against the Bears. You know what I mean? Now it was last night. It was flipped. So yeah, defense has been a crazy year, man. It's that COVID year. I would say the offense offensively and in the NFL hasn't scored as many points before. I mean, this is the first time with the highest time. You know what I'm trying to say? It's that all time record, man. 25 points a game. Um, I think it's just happening because I mean, what do you think? It's not bad D. I think it's maybe just offense taking apart, taking off. The gap's getting bigger. I don't know what you think, man. I mean, defense is just not catching up now. Shit, I
Mm,
don't know.
yeah, I mean, I think we kind of talked about this a few times. I'm kind of bullish on defense. There's very few defenses out there in a
Do you
season.
stream or
Say what?
do you stream week to week defenses or
No, I
you
usually
like to
ride with the
set it and forget it?
defense. Yeah, I kind of sit and forget it because it's kind of I try my best to make the prediction of who has the best long term success available to me, and then I do set it and forget it unless it's a bye week or I do fish it sometimes. Like again, I think more and more I am going and looking at the matchups in the rankings. So if there's a defense that's playing like maybe the Jets, that's something I'll pick up. That's usually what I looked. I think I looked at when I swapped one for the bye week, and then last week I'd even play a defense because I figured I didn't want to waste the roster spot on getting another defense going to the playoffs. And a lot of times defenses are only getting you 2, 3, 5 points, and a lot of times even a negative point. So
Yeah, I skewed that hoe too much this year. So I think I was talking to BMAC. I want to scale it all the way back to standard points, but I also want to introduce IDP, right? Independent or whatever, individual defensive player. Um, my bro Trevor does that in their league, so it's pretty cool. But they had to work it out a few years, like
what's
figure
that?
out
Can you
they did
explain that?
half point tackles. Yeah, you just pick a player, you just add it to the draft. You can pick JJ Watt, you pick a linebacker, you can pick a DB. And so you just pick that one individual defensive player and you play him every week. And obviously you can rotate every week. You can pick someone new, right? So I mean, it's not like you're keeping a stud and plug and play.
So is that in lieu of having a defense? Like that is your
No, you
defense?
would keep the defense too. No, you would
So
still
you
keep
get like
defense.
you still do a defense special teams, and then you also get like a
Yeah,
defensive
yeah,
player. Just
IDP. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty
You can
cool.
get a sack master. Yeah, they did like half point tackles, I think. Yeah, half a point per tackle. Sacks are so many points, interceptions so many points, things like that. So, but yeah, man. You can't really look at the points against this year. Was my point. To figure out what kind of D you got. Thank you for bringing that shit up right there. And what I want to look at is like check the offense you're playing. Okay, go a little deeper. One more onion layer. Do they have a weak O line? Okay, check. What's the third onion layer? Does your defense blitz heavy? If you can get that kind of combo, that's the kind of defense you want to pick here. You know what I'm saying? Vikings, are they known to bring pressure a lot with Mike Zimmer's defense? I think on average, sure, but this one's more of who are they playing this week?
And again,
Dallas.
they're all over the board when you look at their production over the season. It started the first week off
Hmm.
-5, then it's 4-2, 5-5. They only really had
And you
the
see,
last good week against Chicago, 14 points.
hey, and if that's how it's gonna be, man, um,
But they are playing Dallas this next week. Sorry to keep cutting you off there.
exactly. And since they play in Dallas, Dallas is on that list of like 6, 7 teams that if your defense is playing them, you like you're picking these motherfuckers up. You know, we talking about the Jets. Adam Gase, winless, trash ass motherfucker. How does he still have a job? And he has GM duties too. I mean, how is he not end up like Bill O'Brien yet? Broncos. I mentioned Broncos. I don't have respect for Coach Fangio. Remember, these are teams. If they're playing them, they're worth picking up and streaming that week. We already said Cowboys. Let's stay in the NFC West, man. There's just trash ass toilet paper division this year. Eagles, Giants, Washington football team. I mean, you might as well call them the Redskins. They getting murked like Indians. Like it's wild, man. And then of course Cincinnati Bengals. You know what I'm saying? These teams right here. I mean, go ahead, stream and pick them up if they playing them, man.
What else?
They who we got here? Yeah, let's.
So I did have the Patriots. They actually weren't doing too bad for the whole season. But they weren't getting negative points. But they're just again 4, 5, 8. So actually not great at all.
I tell you what, man. I was talking shit about the Patriots last week. Their D, I was like, if you have them, I don't know why you do now. You should drop them. But man, they did good last week against the Ravens, considering they held them to 17 points, 350 yards offense. And then they got Lamar Jackson twice. I mean, that's nasty, man. It's just hopefully their sack number will climb higher this week because they playing who else? Motherfucking Texans can't block shit. Texans the only team I know in history. They return all 5 starting linemen, and it's still trash ass as a unit. Like you return everybody, bro. And how are you not in the top
Wait,
5, 10? How
when
are
you
you
were
not in the bottom 10?
when you cut out earlier, that's I kind of brought that up just for briefly, just the demise of the Texans. Obviously, there's been a lot of bad decision making by the GM, the former GM Bill O'Brien, who's now fired. But it seems like the core team is large in part still there, that had a 9-7 record, that did pretty well, that got into the playoffs. So it's just interesting how it's all crumbled. JJ Watt's still there. We did lose our nose on the defensive line. Why can't I
DJ
remember his name?
Reader, DJ Reader.
Reader. I really
Yeah.
liked him. He was really good, and we lost him.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
he
to
went
the
to get
Bengals.
money. He put on snow boots, man. Went to get that money.
Yeah. So I mean, I
No,
don't
you're
know.
right. You're
What
right.
do you,
But
what do you think about
you
that?
also
Do you think
forget.
do you think it's like a talent thing that we've lost, or do you think it's just
Yeah.
players kind of checking out and just whatever?
No, it's definitely talent, and some talent generational talent can hide flaws, right, and elevate other teammates around them. So we already know the number one guy we lost was DeAndre Hopkins, right? DeAndre Hopkins allowed you to win ball games last year with Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson as your running backs. You feel me? DeAndre Hopkins masked the stench of 3 average tight ends, each
Oh,
with their own skill set. Uh, to
of
operate in
course,
your
DeAndre. I
offense.
was talking, I guess, more about the line, how we're just getting run on. DeAndre Hopkins are not.
Oh
We're
yeah,
getting all.
yeah.
And I did real quick
And I was
though.
gonna say that maybe D Hop masked this offensive line and made them look better than they were because he was a
I'm talking
chain
the
mover,
defensive
man.
line. We're getting run on
Oh
right
the
now.
oh,
I
oh
mean,
the D line.
again,
Well, yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
lost
Well,
the
that
nose
was
tackle.
that's personnel. No, it's same thing. That's personnel too, for sure.
Um,
It's not that the players checked out, man. I think they like Cornell. Shit, I think they're playing for Romeo.
Yeah. So taking it back to our defense special team, there is a question in chat talking about picking up the LA Chargers over Baltimore this week. LA versus Jets. Baltimore's playing Tennessee. Tennessee is not a explosive offense. They are a pretty run heavy offense. The Jets are just the Jets. So who are you taking?
Yeah, I'll tell you. You're taking the Chargers there, right? Yeah, they underperformed this
The
year.
Chargers defense, they have been so porous, man. They're just getting, those
Yeah, but
scores are getting 30, 40 points. You're going Chargers? Or no,
yeah, I'm
I'll
going
pull them up. I'll see
Chargers.
what they're. Oh, actually, they're available.
Look, man, they're
They're vet.
they're they're bottom half the league in sacks, but at least they're 12th in pressure rate, so they blitzing. Yeah, they're at the end of the bottom of the league with
They are playing the Jets,
def- yeah. See, that's what I mean. They're
and they've
playing the
never gone
Jets.
negative. That's a plus.
Hey, I know they're pretty good with the rush, and as far as like QB hurry hits like that, I know it hasn't translated to wins, but like we said, they're playing historically bad Jets offense, bro. Sam Darnold can't even suit up this game. So as much as we were like hollering for a vintage Joe Flacco, and we were all happy for him and shit, like dude, this Jets offense is like blood in the water, dog. Like go and get it. It's like if you so horny, like you still gonna eat pussy even if your girl's on her period. It's like fuck it, it'll taste like a mouthful of pennies, like copper. But I mean, you said go dive on in, man. Don't be scared. Just because the Chargers suck, you still playing the Jets. Go and fucking get
Mouthful
it,
of
man.
pennies. It's
You know
very
what
true.
I'm saying? Confirmed,
It's very
beans.
true.
Oh shit, man. Yeah.
Uh,
But that was good, man. Yeah, man. It fucking interrupt me when shit. They got chat questions. I like that, man. Freestyling, man.
cool, man. So, any other defensive special teams stuff?
Nah,
Off
like I
on
said, if you're playing the fucking NFC West plus the Jets, Broncos, Bengals, go ahead and fucking just stream them this week. I would almost say Texans, but Deshaun Watson's playing well, man. It just doesn't have much around him. You feel? So
Yeah, I mean, I'm riding that because that's all I got going to the playoffs.
yeah.
So I think you want to go talk about the league and just see who's in, who's out. Maybe we'll salute the guys.
Yeah, man.
who
Let's
are
just show the
done.
playoffs, and then I want us to we'll just talk about two of the four teams that didn't make the playoffs this week. We'll talk about the other two next week.
It was a bit of a final push to the final few spots, and
Yeah, man. You can see the guys that were in the bottom of the league that didn't make it. They all had a first or second rounder that basically didn't pan out or missed because of injury. Randy lost Saquon. D lost McCaffrey to the MCL. Thanks, Cedar Will. It wasn't a high ankle sprain, it was MCL. Um, who else is on the bottom there? That's sitting now. Stevie Kenyon Drake didn't pan out for Stevie. And then of course Michael Thomas for most of the year didn't come out. Julio Jones should have been winning them games, but he was hurt. Yeah, man. How do you do playoffs? Can you?
Oh yeah. So okay, playoff bracket.
But yeah, man, those guys. Yeah. Oh, there we go. So that's the matches right there. We got the first seed, Cedar Will. So he just got $50 right there for winning the first seed. In lieu of a buy, hey, $50, why not? Playing Bob.
Yeah, let me open this up.
Look at that. You got Tank second seed going against Vu. Cedar Will mentioned earlier, Vu's the dark horse with Nick Chubb coming back off IR. That's wild, man. Then you got Matt who had a slow start, third seed.
He really did pick it up. He's kind of been
he picked it up, bro. He picked it up, and I'll tell you how he picked
just
it
came
up.
in there. What's up?
Nah, your boy gave him a wedding gift. I gave him James Robinson, man, for an Amari Cooper without Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think you're a bit too trady this season? Do you think it came and bite you in the butt? The boot.
James Robinson one did for sure. The James Robinson one did, but I think everything else I've done so far is all right. Michael Thomas trade. I traded David Johnson and Amari Cooper.
So what trade do you like the best so far from the season going to our playoffs? And again, our playoffs start early because we're doing and I was going to ask you, we're doing a 2-week playoff. So basically each playoff round is 2 weeks. We get 2 games. So if you lay an egg 1 week, you get the opportunity to come back. Say you lose the first one, you win the second one. How does that work? How does that average work out?
It's just the points, bro. You just combine the points. So
it's all the points for and against? Or is it just the points
for those 2 weeks? No, it's the points for those 2 weeks. So you score 50 this week, but then you come back with 150, 200 next week. You add them up. That's it. You know.
Oh, it's that simple. Okay, you just.
Okay. Oh yeah, bro. So say y'all both have a tight game week 1, but you lose by 7. Shit, all you gotta do is explode the following week and have him lay a goose egg, and that's it. You got it, man. It's gonna be a good one, man. Let's pull up D's roster, man. Let's see where it went wrong with D, man. Team Sex Panther.
Oh, okay.
He was ranked 9 on the outside looking in. Let's see what we got.
Lamar Jackson too.
Sex Panther, man. Sex Panther. Yeah, so Lamar was the keeper here. Antonio Gibson, I love it, man. He found a gem right there. There's our problem with Mike Davis. Christian McCaffrey, man, I tried to trade for him early on, a few weeks in his injury, but of course, if I was D, I wouldn't have traded him either. You
That's
know what I'm saying?
interesting.
Hindsight 2020. But it goes to show you, man. Sometimes it's not worth waiting for the defensive player. What's crazy is if we had to week 13, maybe McCaffrey would come back and could win him his last few games and make a push. You know what I'm saying? But Will Fuller didn't do bad, man. I think scored 6 straight games. Shit, one of the pretty good NFL streak. He's in good NFL company with that. Um,
No,
and then I think
Will
he found
Fuller
a
did
good
great.
spot with. Yeah, man. So it's if you, I don't know if he can do his.
I think
I think
tight end. I think obviously he. So Lamar was the keeper. What was his high draft pick this year?
so. It was
Uh,
McCaffrey, and then he had Chris Carson.
that's right,
So
McCaffrey.
I'm pulling up his week 2 roster or his week 1 roster just so we can see how it changed. So he had McCaffrey, Chris Carson in there. He had Devontae Parker in there. That's crazy though, man. He had Antonio Gibson week 1, so he already had him in there. Mike Evans, it's a good squad, man. It's a good squad. It just hey, everybody got a good squad week 1, and we saw this one. It's tough to win if you ain't got your first rounder out there. Fucking, he's the one that's supposed to anchor. You know what I'm saying? So let's pull up Beans, man. Rest in peace, Sex Panther. Though, hey, for the 4 that haven't made playoffs, I think it's a $25 side pot to whoever scores the highest out of the 4 losers. These next
So
while the playoffs are going
there's
on.
still hope for entertainment value.
To win some money. Yeah. $25 is the last side pot for these.
So don't just
For
send it
these
in,
guys.
boys. Play for that
Hey,
$25.
man. And you try to get a little. You never know. Somebody might get hurt. Um, and
Um,
then rookie steps up, and then bam, you got your keeper now for next year. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, definitely whoever scores the highest points for, the next whatever 6 weeks out of those 4 too, just the last 4 plays. Shit, twenty five
and
bucks, 25% chance to win $25. I'll let your boy, man. Shit.
so whose team you want? You want to look? Okay, so go back to
Let's
the other.
pull up K Who's. Let's pull up Sticky Richards.
Yeah,
This was
let's.
D 3-7, barely made the play, missed the playoffs. Could have had it, man.
Yeah, so he was in
It's
a
just injuries,
tight
man.
race with the bottom 3 teams. Basically, he needed
He
to
was the
win.
champion last year too, so you got to give his props. He was the champion last year. Oh, we talking about K Yeah, K needed a sweep, right?
Yeah, who was the
Last two
champion last
weeks.
year? Who you talking about?
D.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we'll salute D, the champion last year. This year did not go so well, but I don't feel bad for you because you've won like twice.
Yeah,
I'm still going after that.
still owe the loser punishment too.
I
With me,
feel I
bitch.
feel a little bad for this next guy. It was his first time back to the league and since the high school days. Didn't make the playoffs. He was close. He needed to win his last game and he needed a little bit of help. Unfortunately, his last game completely shit the bed, and he also had David Johnson, who didn't do that well this season and also got a concussion. He's out for at least 3 games. So he just the wheels just completely fell off. I feel bad for the guy, but he had fun. That's all that matters. But you might want to adjust your roster because there's still $25 on the table to win, my man.
Yeah,
What do you
man.
want to say about this though? Let's look at week
No, we're
one
looking
roster
at the
like you
roster
said,
now. Oh yeah.
or do you want to go week 10
No,
and then
no.
week one?
Let's look at this and then we will. Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
okay. I know he had a revolving door at quarterback. So that's fine. He's definitely. I think between Joe Burrow, David Carr, we already knew Minshew earlier in the year was doing his thing, despite what I thought. Melvin Gordon, we were hoping Melvin Gordon would do a little more. Devin Singletary, they kept flirting with Zach Moss, rookie they drafted. Even though Singletary was a second-year kid, this reminded me of Gio Bernard, Jeremy Hill dynamic. Gio Bernard did well. The following year, they draft Jeremy Hill, and then Hill kind of established himself. But I mean, look at him now. Hill's out the league, and Bernard's still in, dependable. Anyways, I like the whole Keenan Allen. We already mentioned his other receivers. He had Michael Thomas, Julio Jones. Uh, this one, just
he,
inconsistent quarterback points, I think,
yeah, a lot
and
of
the
guys on
receivers never
IR.
scored together at the same time. Of course, I traded him Amari Cooper and David Johnson to get Michael Thomas, but I want to laugh and say, hey, he's
I think
David Johnson hurt.
he had a real hard time at running back. There's really no running back on his team.
Let's check his week 1. Yeah, let's check the week
Let's
1 now.
double
We were
Singletary.
banking on Melvin Gordon to steal everything away from Philip
And I
Lindsay,
think
but
Raheem Morset was his
oh yeah.
was that his keeper?
Yeah, and of course that didn't pan out. Everything failed for
So
the
week
Niners as
one.
well.
So yeah, he had his keeper in the Melvin Gordon. Even then, I think Melvin Gordon, I probably wouldn't feel comfortable as my number two running back. He maybe a flex at best,
I'm
but
telling you though, bro, if you're going into the week one with Michael Thomas, Julio Jones, Keenan Allen,
it's heavy on
eh,
wide receiver for
and then
sure.
you got Marvin Jones sitting waiting in the wings, like that's not
No,
bad.
no, it didn't look like a
Um,
bad team at all. Then you have Philip Lindsay
yeah,
too.
man.
What did he do this season? Was he hurt? What's going on
No,
with that
no,
guy?
yeah. He was in and out,
Nothing.
but him and Gordon, yeah, he had, look at that, only two good, two decent
Point
games.
two.
Him and Gordon been going back and forth. They're stealing each other's thunder. We'll say that. There's not a thunder lightning combo. They just kind of, yeah, black on black crime.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. Yeah. So, what are your overall thoughts about Kyle's team, and what advice would you give him going forward into the next year?
Not nothing, man. I mean, it's just this is an example of just like I said, it looks fucking wonderful on paper, man. It's just yeah, an example of it not panning out, I guess. If anything, uh, I I would be confident in my game to if you're gonna draft that way, draft with that intent of dishing out, a receiver or two for a stud running back, which I think was the intent with David Johnson, but definitely shooting higher than David Johnson, packaging or pairing those cats, and then doing it a little earlier in the season. Um, you know what I'm saying? Shit. I think you could have paired Michael Thomas, and then maybe even. But of course, like I said, hindsight 2020. You didn't know this week 5, 6 that you were gonna, you know what I mean? Shit. Ended up playing some dudes that ended up popping off. Steve popped off last week too. Sure, K who only scored 80 points, but Steve, threw up 145. So it's like, damn, even if the team went off,
Yeah,
probably
I
wouldn't
saw
match
that
that.
too. That's
So
what I'm saying.
that's
Like
how it is. You
he
know
had
what I'm
he had a
saying?
lot of
So
things
shit,
against
you
him.
never know. Yeah, it's
Um,
fantasy. That's all it is. It's just
and I
bullshit
think
that we think
we
we can control.
we like to put on a show and talk about analytics and talk about what we're predicting here. But and
All
then I
right,
think
man. Megan is missing, man. Have you watched Megan is Missing?
Megan is missing. No, what is? Tell me about Megan is missing, please.
I don't know anything. I just googled it, man. It's a found footage film though. I'm gonna look into it. But apparently, it's banned in New Zealand. It's so nasty.
Ooh,
Following
whoa.
this girl who tries to meet a online, dude she met online, and then of course, her best friend goes looking for her. She's missing. Finds a found footage, and it's fucked up from there. So
So it's a popular high school student. Let's read here. Popular high school student in North Hollywood who decided to meet up with a boy she was interacting with online, and the subsequent investigation launched by her best friend Amy. Uh, Whoa, okay, based on the series of rental. Okay, a lot of abduction, violence, and like you said, so you basically that's a better summary than I can. This is too lengthy. I'm not gonna read
hey,
this.
no, yeah, and I don't know. It gained attention today because there was a headline that said the director had to get on social media and be like, "Man, before y'all watch this movie, like it's pretty fucked up. Read what it's about before you watch it, because basically he's been getting like blown up. People saying like, ah, it's fucked up, da 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 da. But he was showing a real element that could happen, real life that could happen. So
Oh,
I
okay.
appreciate
So
him for it.
so there's the juicy stuff. The plot. Okay. She's a popular high school honors student who is well known and liked among her peers. However, she lives a double life. She suffers from a history of child sexual abuse and has become addicted to drugs.
Mm, mm.
But there you go.
Gotta gotta throw that in. Blame the drugs, motherfuckers. Yeah, there was one more I wanted to tell you about that I saw a couple weeks ago. It's got Spider-Man in that hoe, Winter Soldier in that bitch, the new Batman, oh Edward Cullen ass in this hoe. The Devil All the Time, bro. Yeah, that's another one. You gotta watch that one. Gotta watch that one.
The dead. What's
On
that?
Netflix, man. Man, I don't even know how to explain it. It's got like some sort of religious undertone to it, but it's throwback 1940s, 50s.
I'm not one to
Um,
usually watch spooky, scary movies, but all the
this was
phasmophobia
more
we've
of a
been
thriller,
playing.
man. Thriller, mystery type shit. Like just some evil shit going on in the town. Like Edward Cullen, he comes in, he plays a preacher that ends up molesting these bitches, molests one of the girls, and then ends up being Tom Holland's sister. So he goes to try to fuck him up. And, hey, some good shit.
What
It's a town that's Mm-hmm. What's up?
What was the flick that we watched on the husband retreat? That spooky flick. Will
Oh
Will and
shit! The
Chad.
invitation.
That was a good one. I didn't finish
Invitation.
it, but
Yeah,
it
man.
seems cool.
I like those. I call those B grade movies, man. The direct to VHS type shit. It's a Netflix, exclusive, whatever. But the movies are good, man. Yeah, yeah. And that's how you gotta be. You gotta have a little niche, I guess, with the horror. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like that one too, man. That one was the whole what husband goes to his ex-wife's invited ex-wife's friend's
Which
dinner party.
that by itself is weird. Why would you be going to your ex-wife's dinner party
Yeah,
with
unless you got a kid or something, you
yourself?
tied
Yeah,
with them
yeah.
somehow, then yeah. But no, for real,
Just
for
because you
real.
have the same friends, like fuck that. If you are
Well,
friends with
Dave,
my
I was
ex-wife,
gonna
we
say
are
that's
not
that white people
friends.
shit. I was gonna say that's that white folks shit.
No, man, no.
Oh shit, yeah.
Anyway, man, did you want to end us with a little verse of
Oh yeah. Let's go. I got a good one, man.
Nietzsche?
A little Nietzsche, man.
Nietzsche.
Do a little Nietzsche for your soul, man. For those out of the playoffs, don't be sad, man. It's all good. So got a chance to win some money. I'll tell you. This one's you already know, right? Human, all too human. It's the
All
book
too
we're gonna
human.
talk about.
We're all too human.
This scripture is about this is the wife and child I found. So
Okay, a lot of us have wife and children now, so that's good.
the league, at least half of us got. Everybody got a bitch, but at least half of us got the baby too. So let's see what we got. We'll read a couple here. Who suffers the more? I like this one. Who suffers the more? This is passage 420. It's the only reason it caught my eye. Who suffers the more? After a personal dissension and quarrel between a woman and a man, the latter party suffers chiefly from the idea of having wounded the other, while the former suffers chiefly from the idea of not having wounded the other sufficiently enough. So she subsequently makes up for it with tears, sobs, and discomposed mien to make his heart heavier.
Does that mean they cry to make us feel bad?
It's a fucking show, huh? Theatrics, man. Straight up, man. That could be happening here. I mean,
So what I got from that is their heart might hurt, but they make our heart hurt more.
they want to. Yeah, at the end, it's both just trying to
Destruction.
one up. I
And
like it, huh?
That's what it's
I
like to
got
be
from
married.
it too.
Okay.
Motherfuckers. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I think it's gonna do it for us here on the Balls Deep podcast. It's not even a podcast anymore. Look at the production value we have. It's a TV show. It's a national television show. We're on national television right now. So, all right.
Dozens and dozens of fans, Mick Foley fans.
Yeah, we want to thank you all of you. All right, man. We have a good one. I'm gonna head us out with some tunes here, and we'll catch you and the rest of the gang next time. I think we're pushing for the studio. This could be the last episode without a studio.
Hey, it better be, man.
I'm getting very close, but where's my favorite song? All right, later, man. You have a good one.
All right, bro. Special shout out to Cheryl 545.
Zapdos or Blastoise.
Cover my face any place I go with the mask. Tell me what's the real task.
Yeah, because
Got gloves on my hands.
Electricity Man,
Really gonna
that's
stop
like the water's
from spreading.
weakness.
Everybody dreading.
Very
Turning
susceptible
on
to
the TV
electricity.
to see the news
So,
about the bloody
definitely
feud. 'Cause
Zapdos.
we understand, hey, they got more to lose than just old people 70 and above that are getting killed. Either way, they gon' die. That's what they say. That's because nobody close to them.
I used to have a holographic one.
So tell me how do I dwell? Wasting pennies, throwing them down the wish well. What a win-win. We gon' go back to the way we did. Win a win, I can go back out. What's this?